Good afternoon, Cross Timbers. Today is Wednesday, July 26, 2017, and I am Quanecia Fraser. Today's top stories include a former Tarleton police officer who may soon be honored at a national monument, and the mystery about a couple found dead inside a mobile home in Stephenville. These stories and more coming up next on Texan TV. In campus news, the current Department Head of Educational Leadership and Policy Studies has been named Chief of Staff for President DeTavio. Last week, I sat down with Dr. Todd Allen Farmer in our studio to speak with him about his new position.
What I really look forward to is collaboratively working not only with faculty and staff, but with all Tarleton stakeholders to make Tarleton the premier student-focused university in Texas and beyond. It radically changed who I was, and I want others to share in that wonderful experience. Ultimately, as Chief of Staff, my job is to serve the President and do what he tells me to do and lighten his load as much as possible so that he can lead and continue to move this fine institution forward in a very positive manner. And I just look forward and I'm very excited. I plan to aggressively serve and actively learn from President DeTavio. I have 2 degrees from Tarleton. I met my wife in graduate school here at Tarleton. She has 2 degrees from Tarleton. We want our children to come to Tarleton. Tarleton's a place that you can work hard, have fun, become actively engaged in service learning opportunities, and turn your dreams into reality. And to Tarleton students, I would say, welcome to Tarleton. It's a great place.
In other campus news, a former Tarleton police officer who died in the line of duty may soon be honored at a national monument for fallen officers, 39 years after he died following the chase of a suspect in a campus prank. We now go to Alejandro Araguin for more information on this story.
After 39 years, a former police officer who died in the line of duty may soon be honored at a national monument for fallen officers. The effort to add former 56-year-old W.A. Hale's name to the National Law Enforcement Officer Memorial in Washington, D.C. and the Texas Peace Officer Memorial in Austin are being led by his granddaughter, Rhonda Duckworth, and Tarleton's Assistant Chief Alvin Alcon. Their project was announced at the grand opening of the Tarleton's new police headquarters at the new Tarleton Police Department. Hale was pronounced dead shortly after midnight on December 13, 1978. Duckworth remembers watching her grandfather getting ready for what turned out to be his last shift.
We had actually been at my grandparents' house eating dinner for probably my dad's birthday.
Before her grandfather left to work, he asked her for a hug because she would always give him a hug before he left to work. But that night, she chose not to give her grandfather a hug.
I remember him walking out the glass door, and that was the last time that we got to see him alive.
On his last shift on December 12, police received a call about a prank on campus, and Hale was one of the 2 officers who responded. The prank was what was referred to at the time as a panty raid.
It was a common occurrence for this point in time.
Students were planning a panty raid at the female residence hall. Alcon said it was quite common for male students to try and get into the women's residence hall and steal a pair of panties, and it was also common for female students to throw their undergarments out the window to male students. When Hale responded to the scene, he saw a group of young men try and climb into the window at one of the female residence halls. Hale decided to chase one of the suspects and fell to the ground and died, according to records from what a doctor said was a massive heart attack. Duckworth didn't realize until recently that his name could be added to the National Law Enforcement Officer Memorial and the Texas Peace Officer Memorial. Duckworth said she was listening to President Donald Trump's speech at the Fallen Officers Memorial in Washington, D.C., when she realized this could be a possibility for her family.
I really don't have an answer for why it's taken this long. It's just this is the time frame that, for whatever reason, that is meant to happen.
A news story about his death appeared in the Stephenville Empire Tribune, but the article listed Hale as a security officer. To be added to the memorial, there had to be proof that Hale was a police officer and not a security officer. Alcon said the way Hale died doesn't diminish the fact that he died while doing his job.
Even though somebody may say, well, he died of a heart attack. Yeah, he did, but he did when he was on duty and performing his duties.
Duckworth's father, Ricky Hale, did not know Duckworth was working on this project until about 2 weeks ago before the grand opening of Tarleton's new headquarters opening.
I did not know she was doing this till 2 weeks ago when she told me about it. I'm so honored that Tarleton is doing this for my father now, and after all these years, it's just amazing.
Welch said in addition to what may happen in Washington or in Austin, a portrait of Hale will be placed in the lobby of Tarleton's police department to honor the sacrifice Hale made for the community. Duckworth and her family will not find out until May of next year on whether or not her grandfather's name will be added to the National Law Enforcement Officer Memorial in Washington, D.C. Alejandra Aguin, Texan TV News.
In local news, according to the Stephenville Empire Tribune, police are still trying to solve the mysterious deaths of 2 Stephenville residents. Investigators found the bodies of 52-year-old Kimberly Ann Cox and 51-year-old Robert Cabin Sparks around 8 p.m. Sunday in a mobile home on FM 2303. Law enforcement arrived at the scene after getting a call of a welfare concern. After checking the perimeter, police entered through the back door and discovered the bodies. Erath County Sheriff Matt Coates said Constable Jason Shipper recently delivered an eviction notice to the home and that the man and woman were facing some personal issues, including possible eviction. Coates said, "At this time, we are still trying to figure out exactly what happened." A source close to the investigation says suicide is suspected in the deaths, but Coates would not rule out any possibility, including homicide. And now today's Texas national and international news from the Associated Press. In Texas news, a former dentist was indicted on Monday by a grand jury in Houston. Authorities say Nathaniel Jefferson failed to provide medical attention after a 4-year-old patient suffered a seizure that led to permanent brain damage. Jefferson was indicted on account of causing bodily serious injury to a child. Harris County prosecutors allege the child was given sedatives during a January 2016 office visit that led to the seizure and hypoxia, a deficiency marked by a lack of oxygen to the body. Authorities say Jefferson waited over 4 hours before calling for medical assistance to treat the girl. The Texas Board of Dental Examiners had previously reprimanded Jefferson in 2005 and in 2012. The board revoked her license in November. A public phone listing for Jefferson could not be found. In national news, a Wisconsin company is offering to microchip its employees, enabling them to open doors, log on to their computers, and purchase break room snacks with a sample swipe of the hand. Three Square Mark, also known as 32M, said more than 50 employees are voluntarily getting implants August 1st at what the company is calling a chip party at its River Falls headquarters. The chips are the size of a grain of rice and are inserted underneath the skin between the thumb and forefinger using a syringe. The procedure takes a couple of seconds. The technology is already available in Europe, but company leaders say this is its first appearance in the U.S. They hope the $300 microchips can eventually be used on more than just snack machines, everything from air travel, public transit, and storing medical information. While the technology has raised privacy concerns because of the potential to track a person's whereabouts and purchases, officials at 32M said the data in the microchip is encrypted and does not use GPS. In international news, Romania's defense minister has confirmed that his nation intends to buy Patriot missiles from the United States that are worth $3.9 billion. But before making a missile purchase, Romania's parliament needs to pass a law to allow this purchase. Romania's defense minister said they estimate to begin paying for the missiles by November after the U.S. State Department approved the sale this month, saying it would help improve the security of a NATO ally. The State Department said the missile system would strengthen Romania's homeland defense and deter regional threats, increase the defensive capabilities of the Romanian military, and shield the NATO allies that often train in Romania. In sports, Tarleton Athletics entered a 3-year deal with the BSN Sports and Nike. It's been over 15 years since Tarleton Athletics has had an apparel deal, and Athletic Director Lon Reisman expressed the program's excitement at an open press conference last Thursday.
You know, we're excited. I think in recent years you've seen all of our multiple sports have been on national television. We've been on national radio. And so when BSN and Nike came. I think this is a direct reflection on what our athletic department has become. As you can see behind me, we have tremendous corporate support with all the banners displayed in the gym, and we've made some amazing athletic corporate agreements over the last few years. Today is a great day for Tarleton Athletics. The athletic department is announcing a 3-year agreement with BSN Sports and Nikes that's going to run from 2017 to 2020. We're extremely excited about our partnership that puts our athletic department on a national stage.
Tarleton joins the University of Texas, TCU, Baylor, SMU, North Texas, Abilene Christian, and Lamar as one of 8 schools in Texas with the deal. This also makes Tarleton the only school in the Lone Star Conference with an exclusive Nike apparel deal. And now for the weather, brought to you by the National Weather Service. Today, the high will be 97 with a low of 75, and you can expect similar temperatures on Thursday with a high of 100 degrees and a low of 75 degrees. And to end the week, chance of thunderstorms this weekend. This has been a production of Texan TV News, a product of the Texan News Service from the Tarleton State University campus in Stephenville. Apogee Channel 2.1 in the dorms and 12:30 weekdays. If you live off campus, tune in to Northland Cable Channel 9. You can follow the Texan News Service on Facebook and Twitter, and check out our website at www.texannews.net for all of your latest local, state, national, and international news. Today's broadcast was produced by Latricia Powell, Aaron Thompson, Alejandro Araguin,